Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel here, and got some more Calgary Flames news here in terms of getting some more players signed in the organization here. As you know, everything's on pause right now, but that's not stopping general managers across the NHL in signing prospects or any players overseas here. So I figure I'll also make a video on give my feelings on a trio of players that the Calgary Flames have signed starting next season here. Two of them are recent draft picks, actually very late in the round here. And another player that apparently we were favorites to lock up, and we did lock up, is playing in Sweden right now. So we're actually going to be all over the map with these trio of signings here as they come from a couple different countries here. So let's go in chronological order here. First, the player that the Calgary Flames did sign was Emilio Pettersen here. That's the Norwegian forward that we drafted 167th overall in the 2018 Entry Draft here. And that draft, I'm definitely going to be intrigued to see how it plays out going into the future here, because if you recall that year, and I did make a video recapping all the players that we drafted there when I started becoming more active on YouTube here. But Calgary did not have a pick until the 4th round here, so if any players that pan out from that draft is definitely a bonus here. And Mathias Emilio Pettersen signed a standard 3-year entry-level deal with the Calgary Flames here. He's mentioned he's a Norwegian. He comes from Oslo, Norway here, and when he was drafted, he was committed to play at the University of Denver here. So he played 2 seasons at the University of Denver here. As it mentions here that he scored 13 goals, 22 assists for leading the team, and 35 points in 36 games last season here, the 2019-20 season here. And then he was also named the NCHC Academic All-Star Team and was the NCHC Second Team All-Star. And he also, overall in his whole time with the University of Denver here, he scored 19 goals, 46 assists for 65 points in 76 games with the University of Denver here. So definitely see how he pans out here. I remember when I made that video when I recapped the 2018 Entry Draft on what the Calgary Flames did there. I had a few comments and updates from one user that said that was a great pick, and I was able to follow him, and it's definitely intrigued to see how this will plan out for the Calgary Flames here, considering he was a 6th round draft pick here. Here he's very skilled, and I'm not too sure if it's exaggerating a little, but I remember seeing on Sportsnet they quoted him as the Norwegian Gretzky here. I'm not too sure if you want to throw that name in there yet here, but it's another player that we drafted late that is now in the system here in his 3-year entry-level deal. Obviously won't start till next season here, and he definitely turned some heads in development camp before going to the University of Denver here. So that was the first player that the Calgary Flames signed here. Second player here we signed was the defenseman Johannes Kinnvall, if I said it right here. He's a Swedish defenseman that apparently the Calgary Flames were favored to lock up here. He signed a 2-year entry-level deal. However, Kinnvall is committed to play in Sweden next season here, the 2021 season here, but he will come to North America for 21-22 here. All we can say about Kinnvall here, he's from Galville, Sweden, and he was a member of the HV71 Swedish Hockey League here. He's a 5'11" defenseman here with some offensive pop here, as his last season here. He scored 11 goals, 29 assists for 40 points in 51 games this season. And those were his career assist totals for his career, highest total. And he's 22 years old right now, and he doubled his point total this season, as it mentioned here in the Calgary Flames article here, that where he notched 22 points in 52 games in the season before in 2018-19 here. In his career, he has 23 goals, 39 assists for 62 points in 121 games in the Swedish Hockey League here. So might get Johannes Kinnvall starting in the 21-22 season when he's 24 here. And I know the Calgary Flames when you look at the organization right now, depending on if the 2019-20 season ends and whenever free agency starts here, the Flames definitely have some interesting decisions to make when it comes to free agents here, because we definitely have some pending unrestricted free agents here. But nice to bring in some, as another player to take a flyer on that is undrafted and was playing over in Europe there. And I know we also signed a couple college players that I made a video on last month here. Now, the last player that the Calgary Flames recently signed here was goaltender Dustin Wolf here, and you can probably say this one is probably the most intriguing draft pick, considering the Calgary Flames. I recapped the video when I did the draft last season in 2019 here. Dustin Wolf was not drafted until the 7th round, 214th overall here, so he was one of the last players selected in the draft last season here. He's a Tustin, California native here. However, Dustin Wolf, as we definitely have some familiarity with him because he played with the Everett Silvertips in the Western Hockey League here. As you know, we have the Calgary Hitmen here. And he finished the WHL with 9 shutouts, and he had the lowest goals against average at 1.88 and the highest save percentage at 936 here, and was tied for the most wins in the league with 34 here. So he definitely was a big part in the Everett Silvertips this season here. The 19-year-old was named a first-team All-Star following the season, and it was nominated for the WHL Dell Wiston Memorial Trophy, and was the league's top goaltender here. So, or we don't know yet if he'll win the award because they won't award it till May 18th here. But given the numbers that it says in the article here, and given that he's one of the top goalies in the league, I would say he has a very good chance at winning the Dell Wilson Memorial Trophy here. So it's definitely nice that we have Dustin Wolf signed, as he signed a standard 3-year entry-level contract here. So those are the 3 signings that the Calgary Flames made. 2 players we drafted fairly late in the recent drafts here, and another player that we're taking a flyer on that's playing in the Swedish Hockey League here. It'd definitely be intriguing to see how Dustin Wolf will translate as he moves his way up here. And if we look at the goaltending for the Calgary Flames organizationally here, you're probably thinking it's almost the end of the line for John Gillies, and the same with Tyler Parsons here. I know we still got Nick Schneider, and then we signed that Artem Zagadulin, who played in the KHL last season, and he looked pretty good in development camp here. But Dustin Wolf, I know he still has eligible to play, more time in the Western Hockey League here, but it's nice that, we're talking about players being signed late in the draft that are looking like intriguing prospects here. So you never know what diamonds in the rough that the Calgary Flames could find here, and hopefully whenever hockey comes back here, we'll be talking more about these players more in the future. So welcome to the Calgary Flames for all the players that I mentioned here. So like I say here, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, home the Flames, Hitmen, Roughnecks, and Stampeders, I obviously mostly do Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, but I also do personal blogs and attempt at comedy here, and I also do share experiences when I'm on the road or on holidays or at a sporting event here, which those couple activities at this time I won't be doing anytime soon here, but I still keep committed to making content on this channel here, and I figured this past week with some off-season news that the Calgary Flames have made while we're in this pause here, I felt it was worthy to make a video on and give my take on the trio of players that recently signed. So if that all sounds like you'd be interested to watch on my YouTube channel to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, you know what you need to do. Just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I also have my other social media links down in the description below for other ways you can follow along and get some announcements on future plans or videos that I plan to make here. And I do have a few video series that I am still in the works on planning on how I'm going to execute that. So as I would say here, go Flames go, and I'll see you in the next video here.